Who knows?
He's making Joshua work, and that's what we have to see. He really hasn't had to work too hard in his short pro career. So Matt Legg, to his credit, is making them work.
As a journey down the M1 for Matt. Milton Keynes based, does a lot of his training in Luton.
It's a nice upper body movement as he comes forward. You know, he's given this a bit of thought. No, but we've seen him box before, but I've never seen him put so much thought into it. He's giving this a go. He's glad to be here.
Getting the high guard up there as Joshua Dolan gets all that right hand uppercut. Bang. Doesn't matter how much of a go you have, if you get tagged like that, you're in desperate trouble, and he's done. One big right hand. Good night.
Yeah, but we're not surprised at the one-round finish. But thankfully, in the short time it lasted, Matt Legg.
So Friday, December 19th, Anthony Joshua will be fighting Jake Paul. And it is a mismatch, of course, as everyone knows. I don't think Jake Paul has any fixed fights, as I see a lot on the internet, and I've even met people that believe his fights are fixed. He is done like many managers do with prospects. They cherry pick their opponents. They start usually at 4-rounders, work up to 6, 8, and 10 with a prospect if he's good enough to go that far. And they gradually increase the ability of the opponents. They start to fight better and better opponents. And that's what Jake Paul's done, just like thousands of other fighters or their managers have done in the past. And currently there's probably 500 undefeated fighters out there that handpick their opponents like that. So that is nothing unusual. What is unusual is Jake Paul is doing it and the whole world is watching. Usually when these fighters are being groomed, not too many people are watching. And Jake Paul is a smart guy, very smart, and he uses the name recognition of MMA fighters to box, and that way he draws huge attention and big money to these fights of his. This time Jake Paul has gone way too far. There is no way in the world he is going to beat 6'6", 250-pound Anthony Joshua, Olympic gold medalist, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. There is no way. At best, what for Jake Paul would be to survive the first 2 rounds. If he could get past the first 2 rounds, then that would be an accomplishment if he could do it. And I don't know that he could do it. Now, he would have to be on his bicycle, as they say. He would have to be running away from Joshua very quickly, hands up high, his guard up high, and not engaging too much with Joshua, not exchanging punches with him too much, just maybe flicking out a jab that will fall short and move around the ring and tie him up if he can, if Joshua gets in close. Now, I don't know if Jake Paul can even do that. Joshua has a lot of experience. He's a lot taller, 5 or 6 inches taller, 6-inch reach advantage, experience advantage. Jake Paul's never fought anybody close to this size and this much experience. So yes, Anthony Joshua is 36 years old. He is past prime, but he's not a 58-year-old Mike Tyson with health issues. And so this is Jake Paul's made a big mistake in this. I mean, he'll sell a lot of tickets. He'll make money off of it, but he's going to get himself knocked out, if he's lucky, TKO'd. and he could get knocked out. He could get knocked out for a 10 count. You know, he could get knocked out to where he's out for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. He could get really put out against a giant like Anthony Joshua. So this is a really risky fight for Jake Paul. I think he's stupid for taking this fight. He's a smart man, but this was a stupid move. And the people out there that think Jake Paul's fights are fixed, they are mentally retarded people, or boxing-wise retarded, to think that his fights are fixed. They're not fixed. None of his fights are fixed. None of them. He handpicks his opponents, and I think he's done really well. I think he's done well for somebody with no amateur background and, limited experience. He's done very well. He blasted out Andre August, who had been a prospect himself with a, what was his record? 14-1, I believe, something around that. Now, he was probably a light heavyweight prospect at one time, Andre August, and then he went up to cruiserweight. He had retired, and then he'd come back. I think he fought around a year before he fought Jake Paul, so the ring rust should have been off. And Jake Paul kept Andre August from getting on the inside, and that's where Andre August liked to fight, is on the inside. And Jake Paul kept him from doing that in the first 2 minutes of that fight, and then knocked Andre August completely out, or a 10 count, out in one round. So he's a cruiserweight prospect, I'd say. He's a cruiserweight prospect. He's not a heavyweight. He's definitely not a world-class heavyweight. He's not a world-class cruiserweight. He's definitely not a world-class heavyweight. Anthony Joshua is still a world-class heavyweight with world-class heavyweight punching power. So this was a bad move for Jake Paul. He apparently he's overconfident, maybe delusional even, to think that he can get in there and beat Anthony Joshua. It's not going to happen. The best it could go for Jake Paul is to stay away from Joshua and last into the third round, maybe the fourth. I doubt it, but maybe if he could make it into the third round, that would look good. But that's not going to be an easy task because he's giving away reach, height, and all that. So he could very well get blasted very quickly by Anthony Joshua. So I'm looking forward to seeing it, kind of looking forward. I like Jake Paul. I think I found his career interesting. I followed his career, and I wish he would have went a different route. I mean, even if he had fought Ramirez, the WBA cruiserweight champion, he's going to take a fight against Joshua, which is crazy. Why not take a fight against Gilberto Ramirez, the WBA cruiserweight champion? Because Jake Paul is ranked 14th in the world by the WBA after his win over Chavez Jr. So he could have secured a title shot. I don't think he could have beat Ramirez, but he could have looked better in losing to Ramirez. If he'd have put up a good fight against Ramirez and lost, he could still earn a lot of respect. But this fight with Joshua, he's just gone way over his head. It's a big mistake, and I'm sad that he made that choice. I was watching his career. I thought it was really interesting, but this was a bad move.
It went very well indeed. But that was training camp. This is the real thing, live bullets.
I think Collins just felt the power and the punches there of Joshua. He constantly blocked it, but he felt the power. But it's good to see Joshua in against an opponent who has ambitions of his own, whose career is on the way up and not on the way down. Looking for the body there, Joshua with a straight right hand.
Joshua looking very sharp. He nails it with a right hand inside the first minute. Cornish down, looking at his corner on one knee. It's the power, but it's the speed as well. Cornish didn't see it coming.
He get caught with a solid jab just before the right hand, and that set him up for it.
And the bits have turned to rubber already. Joshua biding his time. And then unloading again at Cornish. Looking unsteady. Joshua looking to measure him up. Could this be gone in the first? He's caught it with another right hand. And Cornish is in desperate trouble already.
Now, the technique that Joshua's showing at the moment is terrific. You wouldn't believe only a dozen fights.
And it's stopped. It's all over in 90 seconds. Anthony Joshua's biggest test on paper has turned into his quickest win.